Hello, I'm back again, and unfortunately, this movie that I'm doing is probably very laughable and a complete mess. But I hope that it will give viewers the idea of what I've accomplished here, and I'm trying to explain. Okay, this is continuing on. I've now removed the main unit, the guide bed with the blocks from the back of the lathe, and as you can see, there are two blocks, and here is the sliding block, and here you can see the brass original square key in the horizontal shaft, and there's also a corresponding bush that I made. I found that was probably the easiest way for me, without too much hassle, was to machine up a bronze, actually it's silicon bronze, bush, and bore it out and turn it down to size, and then place it with a plug inside, place it in the mill, in the vise, and mill a 1/8, I think it's 1/8 slot right the way through the bush on one side, and that was how I did the keyway in the bore. It's a way of doing it, I guess. It's not probably the best way. Probably a broach is the best way, but it was satisfactory. I thought at the time. I found out later it wasn't, because there was a little bit of play between the sides of the key, and that was causing, you probably can't see it there, but that was causing, where are we? I can't even see where we are. Where are we? Oh, there it is, yeah. That's the sliding block, you see, and here's the keyway here. And so anyway, you probably can't see it, but there's a slight amount of slack, of up and down movement between the keyway. So that was what caused me a problem when I tried out this unit. So you've got the two blocks. There's a male dovetail on there that fits in the female dovetail in the extrusion at the back of the bed, and you have the sliding block with the V, with the dovetail on it, just here. You can see now this screw, I keep it in here just to keep it safe. The main unit slides on there. Let's pull this up a bit. The main unit slides on the dovetail, and I have this plate at the back. Okay, this plate fits on the back, and in that plate I have a 1/4-inch micrometer thimble that I purchased very cheaply. Claimed to be Starrett, but there's no Starrett name on it. So, but anyway, it serves its purpose. It has a domed spindle, and the whole idea was that the tailstock will be adjustable in two planes: in the upward plane, and in the in the horizontal plane, and in the vertical plane. The way that is done is by moving the dovetail in or out with the micrometer, and also raising the center height or lowering the center height by just unlocking these two blocks and moving the vertical pillars, moving them up or down. And once it's set, then it's set there for probably forever unless you move it, or if you put the 1-inch spacers under, then you have to move the pillars up 1 inch higher, and again that would entail using the dial indicator and making sure that the center is corresponding with the headstock center. So anyway, as I was saying, getting back to the Mr. Urich's key, Mr. Urich, he has a triangular key to set the lathe bed on the vertical column, and when he releases it and lowers the bed, which was the ideal situation, on the column, then the bed could swing as well, because once the triangular key was loosened up, then there was play. And so the idea was that when he screwed up the stop screws and pushed the key back into the groove in the column, the vertical column, everything lined up back as it was again. And it was really quite an impressive thing, considering the length of the bed and the accuracy each time that bed was moved up or down, that it would go back in the same position. I believe at the tailstock end, each time I think it was checked, and it was quoted as something like 1 or 2 thou out at the tailstock end of the bed, and that bed was quite long. So that's a pretty good indication that the triangular key for location and for accuracy is a really good design. Anyway, so what I did here was I'll turn this round, and I have a dovetail, if you can see it, a dovetail. I milled a dovetail right on the center line on the back end of the guideway, and because that's about the only place I had left, otherwise I would have had to have made a new block probably. And so what I did was I milled this dovetail the length of the bar on the center line, and then I milled a slot in the back of the sliding block. This hole here is for a split clamp. So here's the slot in the back, and that allows a flat plug to slide in and out. Okay, so it's not a true triangle, it's just a flat plug about almost 0.2 thick, because that's how the size of the slot came out. And I machined a 45 on the inside face, so to correspond with the dovetail slot in here. So that was a permanent location, and then I decided that to lock it up, rather than go in from this end with another screw, or actually I couldn't, because this split clamp was in the way. So what I did was I copied the same as I did on the I made a new top slide for the Taig, and the flimsy little locking system that Taig had was so awkward and flimsy, trying to get it set, and that I decided that I was going to copy the Hardinge lathe again. I spent 20 years on Hardinge lathes, the HLV units, and so I'm kind of impressed with Hardinge. So I stole the design that they have for locking up their top slide onto the cross slide, and it's just a cam action. It's just a pin that goes through a floating plug in the cross slide, and the eccentric pin slides through a hole in the floating pin, and when you turn it, the cam pulls the top slide down onto the cross slide, and it's really effective. It's a wonder. The Hardinge is a wonderful machine anyway. So anyway, what I did was I made up a pin, and it's a 1/4 inch diameter at the large end and 3/16 at this end, and I machined this little part here that covers the back end of the plug, the dovetail plug, and I machined that a 1/15 off center. So now when that goes in there, you just turn it like that, and it's locked solid, and it comes back to the original position each time. And now when I machine, I'm sure that there will be no lift. If there is any lift anywhere, it will be between these two columns and these blocks on the back of the lathe. And if that does happen, then I have another alternative for trying to eliminate that as well. So but we'll wait and see. I'll just take this little plug out and show you. I can find that. Once it's in there, it's not so easy to get out. So what I did was I drilled a